Alrighty, hello everyone and anyone who's watching. We are live now on Prophecy Cup 2 Twitch channel now. We got a nice series underway for you. Desolate 2.0 taking on the Whale Hunters this time around. And Desolate 2.0 has had to use an E-sub this time because their mid laner apparently forgot about the series. So they have swapped in a new player who I'll call Margarine. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And Whale Hunters bringing out the standard lineup. This is their starting lineup, so no surprises from them. And we are still waiting on a series to finish on Prophecy Cup 1, so as soon as that series is finished, then I will switch it over to that channel. And that series over on Prophecy Cup 1 is currently in the latter stages of the game. It's Dolphin Slash versus Lyrian Game in Game 2. So hopefully that finishes up soon so we can get over to the main channel. But it looks like for now that series is going to continue going on, might even go into Game 3. But we are getting into pick ban here. And we have our first lock-in actually for Desolate 2.0. who have been placed on blue side this time by way of Whale Hunters' side selection. So Whale Hunters will have that side selection for this game and for a possible Game 3 if we do end up getting there. Although to be quite honest, I don't think we'll get there. I think Whale Hunters should be able to take this 2-0 because of the E-sub situation, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm not really sure who this E-sub is and how much practice they might have had with the team, but it's a last minute thing for them, so I assume that it's going to be a difficult time for them. And as you can see, those picks or those bans in the top of the screen, we had Hecarim, Anivia, and Thresh taken away by Desolate, and Zoe, Soraka, and Vi taken away by the Whale Hunters. Seemingly very specific bans directed at specific players. Perhaps there are champions that the player plays an unordinate amount of in solo queue. And Ian is actually now on this Desolate 2.0 roster. He was the former jungler for, I believe, I think for the Yeet Street Dynasty kind of thing. I believe, and no, he was also on IRL Sluts with Nahor, I believe, at one point, and he has decided to take on Warwick this game. Silas going to be locked in as well, and Bard is the response from Whale Hunters. We're gonna have another ban targeted at the support player from Desolate 2.0, whose name is Soraka, so obviously taking away Soraka and Lulu are presumably Soraka the player's bread and butter champions, at least in terms of looking at the op.gg. And we're gonna get a ban. Oh, these are actually no bans from Desolate 2.0 because they are using an E-sub, so they have decided to lose these 2 bans. Although I'm not sure what the rules say. I think the rules actually say you have to lose your first 2 bans, but they're tacking them on to the last 2, I guess. So no bans going to be issued by Desolate 2.0 this time. And Alistar also taken away by Whale Hunters, which is a nice takeaway in that Bard lane. You don't want to really have to mess around with a super hard engage when you're a fairly squishy champion such as Bard. But if I'm remembering correctly, I don't think actually Jinx pairs very well with Alistar. So maybe the Alistar was unnecessary, but it's certainly putting pressure onto the support player from Desolate and making her pick something that's perhaps not a champion that she plays very often. Mundo being picked up for Tom Brady's son this time. That is Fugnuggler, of course. And it looks like the name synergy has actually gone away. Fishing and Bot has... well... yeah, it looks like Fishing and Bot has actually changed his name back to Fishing and Bot. Whereas before it was Kiss on the Lips. So... wonder if Fug will change his name back at any point. And I will change that on the dock as well. Make that clear for everyone involved. Casting gonna be the final lock-in for Whale Hunters this time, and Braum is going to be the selection for Desolate 2.0, so we have all of our champions selected now, and that is actually going to be a Sylas in the top lane. Thought at first it might be a mid lane Sylas, but they do a little switch around here. They're going to put the Zir there, and Purple God is able to get the matchup that he wants from this draft, because he did have that last pick for the Kassadin. But I honestly really don't know what this matchup is all about. I'm pretty sure that Azir should be able to have the early edge versus the Kassadin, but obviously Azir is a very difficult champion to get early advantages on, and definitely difficult champion to... I shouldn't get early advantages on, but a difficult champion to play in general. There's just so much stuff you have to think about. You have to think about where you're placing your soldiers. You have to be thinking about what the enemy champion is doing, what sort of threats you face, and then you have to figure out whether you're ulting away for peel or if you're gonna engage perhaps with an ult. So there's a lot of moving pieces that Azir brings into any game, and it's a lot of things you have to think about. So it'll be fun to see how Margarine does on this champion, and see if Margarine is able to accumulate a early advantage versus the Kassadin, because obviously you don't want to get into late game with the Kassadin running around. So that will be certainly one of the win conditions for Whale Hunters, getting that cast into the late game, and or at least not even getting it to late game, but getting it a sufficient amount of items and experience. If, for example, Kassadin is able to get 5 or 6 items before anyone on Desolate 2.0 is able to, then obviously they'll have a huge advantage at that point in the game. And looking across the other lanes, we see that we have a pretty interesting bot lane where Lucian obviously has the skirmishing advantage, but when put up against the Braum, certainly will limit Lucian's and Bard's ability to deal a bunch of damage to Jinx, but Braum only has a few windows of opportunity to prevent that damage, so it's up to the Braum to be smart with his stand behind me and his shield. I definitely give the edge over to the Lucian and the Bard in bot lane for Whale Hunters, at least in the laning phase. And I haven't seen a lot of Sylas, but I believe he's a fairly strong laning champion. but I've never seen Silas versus Dr. Mundo, so we'll have to see how that goes. Dr. Mundo actually has his sort of power spikes in the lane versus just about any champion, and one of those is hitting level 2 first. If he's able to hit level 2 before Silas can, then he might be able to actually chase Silas down for a first blood, although that would be very difficult to pull off for Fognuggler in the top lane, but it's a possibility. Okay, and now we're getting the loading screen now. Should load pretty quickly. Looks like it is. I'm gonna check in on the other series, see if they're finishing up. And it looks like Dolphin Slash actually took that series 2-0, so we're actually gonna be able to switch over there as soon as they're done. Might be in the middle of the game, actually, this game 1. Alrighty, so I got an announcement out for that. Hopefully we can get some more viewers when we switch over to Peak Up 1. But for now, we got good game going here. Bear with me, guys. I'm about to switch the stream over now, I think. Just have to fix the overlay here. Alrighty, there we go. That should be fixed. Desolate is on the blue side, and we got Whale Hunters on the red side. Yep, everything's good. Alright, perfect. We have that series over now. Alrighty, so I'm gonna switch the stream now. Thanks for watching if you're watching, but we're gonna move over to the main Prophecy Cup channel now that it's available. Alrighty, welcome guys. My name is Escapist, and I'm bringing you Desolate 2.0 versus the Whale Hunters, which has just started their series. So this is game 1. The series is currently at 0-0. And we had our draft phase kickoff. We did have one E-sub for Desolate 2.0 coming in the mid lane, and that is Margarine. The starting lineup for Whale Hunters is all here though, however. And yeah, it should be a fun series. Hope you guys can stick around after that fairly quick series from Illyrian Gaming versus Dolphin Slash. There wasn't much early action. We are going to see a gank in the top lane here, as Summer as a vibe is going to look for this gank onto Chosen. He's going to be taken really low, flashes away, but that's going to be Silas falling down. First blood handed over to Summer. And so far, it's been a nice accumulation, a little gold lead here and there for Whale Hunters in every single lane at the moment. And hopefully this title, yeah, okay, so the stream title thankfully updated. This one, and we are in Mercury conference for this game, the conference that every team currently still in the conference is going to be able to qualify for playoffs. So that's been a bit of a letdown, but at least we're going to be seeing, or at least we're going to be guaranteed of seeing all these teams in the postseason. So each team has something to look forward to, and they are playing for playoff seeding still. Desolate 2.0 currently sitting in 6th place in the conference, and Whale Hunters currently sitting in 5th place. So we have the 5th and 6th place teams for you tonight. Alright, now we got that figured out. I can focus on the game, because we were originally on Prophecy Cup 2 channel, but we have switched over here now that the last series is finished. Codename Bond, name changed to Blame My Support a few seasons ago. He is going to be on this Jinx for Desolate 2.0. He is one of the 2 remaining members from that original Desolate squad. The other one being Karaoke Machine, who has changed his name to Chosen in the top lane. Good damage coming out here from Fishing and Bot. Was able to proc that electrocute damage. Should be up in the next. Oh well, we can just take a look and cheat here. Electrocute looks like it's on about a 20-second cooldown. Maybe 25 at this point of the game. Braum not really all that tanky at the moment, but we're gonna see again coming in from Ian here. He's gonna get that fear down, double fear actually onto the bot lane of Whale Hunters. Flashing from Ian, weren't able to get the concussive blows. That's gonna be Ian falling down though, having taken a turret shot. And we have Purple God on the Kassadin here, gonna be rift walking in. He's gonna get the silence down onto Soraka. That does slow as well, but it's not gonna be quite enough damage as Soraka is able to just kind of skirt out there with the stand behind me. That did, however, draw Purple God away from his lane for the time being, so he's gonna have to surrender some mid lane pressure off of that. And he wasn't really able to get anything out of it, so his CS lead is deepening here. He actually walks straight through River here, River Brush, and that's going to cost him a bit of extra HP, but he does have the Fleet Footwork available to him, so he will get some healing off of that. And we're talking about flat earth theories in chat. But thanks for sticking around, guys. If you have stuck around, hopefully we can provide some entertaining League of Legends for you tonight. Oh, flash in from Fishing Ball here. He's going to find that kill onto GSE Ian, who is looking for that really optimistic dragon, which he definitely, that's a big mistake, because it's going to allow Whale Hunters to get the dragon. It's going to be about to bust, just hopping in here from behind, getting that kill, finishing off Margarine, and he's just able to go forward here. Nice shield from Soraka, going to deny that Bard stun, but that's going to be Purple God actually getting in there for the final blow onto Blame My Support. Rook going to land onto GSE Ian there, and that's going to be another death for the Warwick. So Ian dying once on the bot lane gank, and then once trying to solo the Infernal Drake, and then again after he respawned, walking down in the bot lane tri-brush trying to salvage that fight. So not too promising of a performance so far from the Warwick player this time. Looks like Tom Brady's son is in a bit of a pickle there without a huge amount of HP. He does have the ultimate coming up in a few seconds though, so it's actually not that big of a deal. He's going to be able to pop that if Chosen decides to go for a dive of any kind. I was watching the Dolphin Slash versus Illyrian Gaming series earlier, and we saw Silas top lane in that series, and I was definitely impressed by these Silas's amount of healing, self-healing I should say. But all in all, I wasn't incredibly impressed by the pick itself. It definitely seems like it's a pick that is strange for the top lane, and it takes a lot of experience to know how to play it. And you ready for council? Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Sealed Sword. Got you with the update on that. Ultimate being put down here from Fishing a Bot. He doesn't have the stun available to him though, but About to Bust has the support of his jungler here, and that's going to be Bard taking down that kill on the Braum. That's some nice support being aided by the jungler that time, Summer. GSE Ian just can't stay alive when he comes down to the bot side. He's going to have to ultimate away here. And Fishing and Bot just gets to do whatever he wants on this Bard because there's really no recourse so far. Looks like a lot of fun to me. Definitely wouldn't mind playing Bard in this situation, where you have a bunch of lane advantage and really not a lot of enemy jungle pressure. Yeah, and Illyrian Gaming still has the ability to qualify for playoffs, I believe, in Nitrogen Conference, but they are super far behind and their odds essentially to make playoffs are definitely diminished after that series, but they still have a chance, albeit a very small one. Nice stun coming out from Fishing and Bot here on the Bard. A lot of auto attack speed from the Bard at this point. He's on a ward though. He's gonna get the stun off, and that's gonna be Fishing and Bot taking down Soraka for the second time in a row. So nice vision there to find that kill. Really a little bit of a kind of lazy recall though from Soraka for sure. GSE Ian is on the top side here. He's gonna look for a dive with the help of Margarine. Purple God gonna just rift walk away though. Look at this in the bot lane. Blame my support not even able to walk up to the minion wave or defend his turret. And now that the Ivern is here, that's just going to be an easy turret plating. And maybe on this, I don't think they can quite. Oh, they're going to pop Daisy though, and this is going to allow them to actually finish off this first blood turret in the bot lane. Soraka not even able to stun up the Ivern that time because of the minion there. GSE Ian was able to get the smite down on Daisy though.
You know me.
Silas roaming in from the top lane here does not manage to get much done in the mid lane. See if looks like Codename Bond has actually opted to stay in the bot lane here and get some extra damage down onto this bot lane turret. Doesn't quite have enough for Infinity Edge at the moment, so decides just to stay in lane. Fishing and bot coming in down here, showing on this ward is going to alert Desolate 2.0 that they are trying to keep standard lanes. So that vision not going to be acquired in the bot side for Whale Hunters this time.
Like a honeybee. Gotcha.
Root lands onto Soraka, but this is just a warding expedition. And it's all being set up for this Ocean Drake, potentially. I don't know if I really like the call, but we're going to get a suppression onto about to bust here. He's going to be stunned up, and he's going to be taken down just like that. Nice knockout from Soraka here. Gets a two-man. Going to be a Bard ult here. Going to set up that stun, possibly. Purple God over the wall. Going to get in there, help set his 80 carry up for that double kill. We're going to see a nice Bard tunnel into the bot side here, but flashes out. Actually going to have to be burned there as Silas comes down on the teleport. Where is Mundo is the question. As he teleports in as well, he helps finish off the kill onto the Azir. And Silas does manage to get taken down as well by Purple God and Summer. Definitely a huge chaotic fight, but we do see that Whale Hunters does get the better of that fight as they are able to get the Ocean Drake and pick up. I think they aced them. I'm not really. I can't even keep track, but I think that was 5 kills for Whale Hunters that time. And they only lost just Bard. Bard was the only death for them going in on that magical journey. It's been so long since I've seen Bard that I forget his ability names, really. Let's see, we got Cosmic Binding, that's what it's called. And Desolate 2.0 gonna lose all their vision in the river, but they do have some top lane vision. Oh, nice sniped out there from Soraka to get that Scuttle Crab. Steal it away from About to Buzz. Soraka walking up here really aggressively. See what it looks like from Whale Hunter's side. They can see the Warwick in the top side here, so they are aware that Warwick is up here. Bard's just pushing out the wave because Lucian's gone to get the red buff. And they do see that Warwick. Warwick does not see them in the river yet, so Lucian's going to pop over. Sorry about that, guys. Spectator didn't want to look up here, but that is going to flash or force Ian to recall. He didn't have to flash there, but he didn't have it. Redemption actually going to come down from the Ivern, I believe, just to give his top lane a little bit more healing. Not that he needed it. He still has his ultimate available. He still has Grasp of Dying. Portal gonna come in here, gonna silence Margarine. That's gonna be Fishing Bot, proccing the electrocute damage there and taking down Margarine. Tons of damage coming out from that pair of players. And Tom Brady's son has popped the ultimate here. He's getting a lot of healing, but Chosen is going to steal that ultimate and pop it himself for the extra healing. And this is GSE Ian coming down here to help out with some damage. Going to get the fear down, gets the Skirmisher Saber Smite. And both ultimates from the top laner is going to time out now, and that should be a dead Mundo. He doesn't have assistance of any of his teammates, but he's going to buy his team some time to at least get the Rift Herald. Oh, here comes Purple God, actually. Rift walking over here just in time. Gets feared. That's a flash from Chosen, but it's going to be Tom Brady's son actually taking him down with a nice cleaver. Shut down Gold, goes over to GSE. And we have Bard tunneling in here, though. Can he get that? Nope, can't get the stun. So we're just going to see a disengage, and Summer taking down the enemy Raptors. So looking at the big picture, we got a 2-for-1 there for Whale Hunters, and we got a Rift Herald picked up by Summer as a vibe. Ian coming back to try to help his bot lane, but he hit a ward showing on the map. I don't know why he hit that ward. Should have let his AD carry do that. So Whale Hunters does know that Warwick is topside again. They have complete vision over the river though, and so they're pretty safe. Spooky Ghost actually being purchased by Fishing Bot allows this engage to happen. Bout to Bust just going to sidestep that ultimate from Blame My Support though, and this is going to be Soraka in a lot of trouble. Flash away by Codename Bond here, gets the concussive blows landed onto him. This is going to be a turnaround. Wonderfully played by Codename Bond here. Can he get the double kill? Stun goes down to Fishing and Bot. Is he going to be able to pour out here? No. He is going to portal, but that's going to be a flash burn from Fishing and Bot. Still falling to Margarine's soldiers there. Really chaotic little skirmish there, but ended up being quite the little doozy of a fight with Blame My Support going rather untouched. The Bard ultimate was flashed away by him, and even though Soraka was the brunt of all the damage and ended up going down there, it allowed Blame My Support to pick up that double kill.
Sometimes.
So we'll see if Codename Bond, aka Blame My Support, can make some magic happen for his side this time. He gets the rapid fired cannon for the Jinx, and he is sitting at a nice CS lead. He has about, oh, he's actually down in gold, about 800 gold because of all the turret plating that Lucian was able to receive. But yeah, definitely big injection for the Jinx here. Looks like he's going to be building a secondary Zeal item as well right afterwards, or maybe just complete the Berserker Screeves, not really sure. Definitely would like to see that Berserker Screeves getting picked up instead of the Zeal item. But yeah, doing a really good job here of staying in this game is Codename Bond, and doing a really good job of CSing as well. I'm gonna look at the gold again. We see that top lane is pretty heavily in favor of Tom Brady's son, aka Fognuggler. And jungle going over to Summer as a vibe pretty heavily as well. Mid lane is a bit more parity, but Caston does have that advantage. Root lands onto Margarine. That's going to be Margarine ultimating Purple is a god right back into the team as he... Oh, that's going to be a nice re-engage from GSE Ian. Nice knockup from the Braum here as well, and that's going to be Fishing and Bot falling down. Double kill goes over to Blame My Support. Can he kite out this Mundo? Concussive blows does get procced. The Warwick doing tons of damage with the Skirmisher Saber as well, but that's so much healing from Tom Brady's son. They have all his CC available to him, slowing him down, but Concussive blows actually coming off cooldown, maybe going to proc it again, but he's going to be able to get out of there just in time. He might I mean, he does have a lot of movement speed, but he might think about Merc Treads. Ninja Tabbies did obviously deny a lot of damage from the Jinx auto attacks, but was able to get out of there just in time. Picks up the Warmog's armor as well in the recall, but this is a game that's looking a lot more even than it was 5 minutes ago, that's for sure. 3 dragons on the side of Whale Hunters this time around, though. So let's see if they make use of that. Caston still not quite fully online yet. He hasn't completed his Miramana or Archangel Staff, excuse me. He has completed it, but it hasn't been upgraded yet to the item that allows you to get the shield. We have 3 members actually now from Whale Hunters in the bot side. They're just gonna pick up this turret for free. No one is defending it, and looked like maybe GSE Ian maybe started up that Baron buff, but they weren't committing to it, so they're gonna recall here. Codename Bond trying to clear out these minions. He does so successfully. This is Fishing and Bot taking some vision back over the Baron buff. We're gonna see maybe an engage here. Margarine jumping forward. Root lands onto Soraka here. Bard is on the side here. Willy Portal in for a little engage here. He's got the ultimate down onto both the carries. Margarine gonna be stunned up here for sure. Pushes back everyone. Purple God on the side doing a lot of distraction work. Silas having to Hextech Protobot away, but he's got a lot of dashes available. Even though he is soloed. About to bust jumping forward here. Gonna take Blame My Support to about 200 health. GSE even gonna miss that ultimate, but they get the fear down. The Purple God just gonna be able to mosey on out of there. So this is a 2 for nothing for Whale Hunters now. Will they look for this Baron buff, or will they just decide to reset is the question. Oh, maybe neither. They're just going to stay on this mid lane turret, get some damage down. And these magical journeys are going to become very nice rotation tools for Whale Hunters. Stun lands onto both of the members of Desolate 2.0 here. GSE Ian doing a lot of tanking work. Soraka gonna have to pop the ult just to try to save himself, but he's gonna go down. Stun lands actually onto both the carries, Blame My Support and Margarine, but can Chosen do anything about this? He's gonna essentially sacrifice himself to save the carries, and oh wow, Purple God jumping forward again. He has so much mana regen, gets the Rift Walk forward and gets the ace onto both Margarine and Blame My Support. Wow, incredible job there to finish off the remaining members of Desolate 2.0, and that should just about sink their hopes for this game, as Baron is going to be taken over by Whale Hunters. And this is a Caston now that is stacking up that tier still steadily, does have that Rod of Ages on 10 stacks, going to be able to back here and get 2k gold worth of items, so this game is just about in the bag. And Lucian with that old school Black Cleaver Blade of the Ruined King build that you can now purchase Essence Reaver on as a third item, so he's got a lot of cooldown reduction available to him, a lot of flat AD, and a lot of tank busting power in that build. Definitely looks like a lot of fun. And boy, have Whale Hunters had their share of fun this game. And as the 4th dragon goes over to Whale Hunters, the questions start to begin about what Desolate 2.0 are going to do for Game 2. This is pretty much in the bag. Baron buff being on the side of Whale Hunters mean they just have to avoid throws and push in those minions. Margarine isn't even with the team at the moment, but is able to get away with that given the fact that Summer and Purple God did recall for Whale Hunters, so this is a bit of an inefficient use of the Baron buff at the moment. We'll see if they can speed up their usage a bit more here. 2 members of Whale Hunters in the top side now. Gonna take that turret in the top side. Meanwhile, we got Purple God in the mid lane.
A gift from the fall. Be protected.
Jinx doing a rather good job actually clearing out these minions, so it's gonna be a bit of a slow push by Whale Hunters, but it looks like they're actually getting some good damage down on the turret at the moment. Baron buff is down to just 1/4 of its duration. Spooky Ghost just being popped to get some vision down of these members in the bush. You see Ian going forward, gets the fear onto 2 members. He's gonna have to flash out though. It's gonna be a Bard ult landing. Will they get the stun? Cosmic Biting does get the damage down. Doesn't stun, but it does help out with the kill. Silas popping the Bard ult actually that he stole. But this is going to be a 4-for-1 for Whale Hunters as they easily take that top lane turret. And this is going to be a bottom inhibitor turret as well falling. 2 inhibitors now. This is pretty much GG. Hopefully we'll see a surrender here, to be honest. Flash away from Chosen Savior. Chosen Savior. Chosen... I don't even know what to call him. I just call him Chosen. But this is... it looks like they're going to go for a perfect game here. Try to... Well, not perfect, but... kill the 3rd inhibitor. Kill all the structures. And that's going to be GG. Whale Hunters taking that game 1 and move us to game 2. We'll take a bit of a break here. Thank you guys for joining us so far. And yeah, we'll pop into that game 2 as soon as we can.
It's been a roller coaster, but you stayed. And now I'm taking over for the day. 'Cause I can be what you wanna be. And I can feel but you love for me. Take me to a place I'm calling for. Open up the doors I'm knocking on. I'm losing control. Be the one to leave my fantasy. Show you crave your hands all over me. No, I'll never let go. 'Cause now I'm falling for love. Now I'm falling for love. Now I'm falling for you. 'Cause now I'm falling for love. Now I'm falling for love. Now I'm falling for you. And I'm losing my mind for the days. 'Cause you and I will never fade. And I could be what you wanna be. And I can feel but you love for me. Take me to a place I'm calling for. Open up the doors I'm knocking on. I'm losing control. Be the one to leave my fantasy. Show you crave your hands all over me. No, I'll never let go. 'Cause now I'm falling for love. I'm falling now.
I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you.
Okay guys, we are back into pick and ban here. Whale Hunters taking that game 1 in pretty convincing fashion. Never really looked like it was Desolate's game to take. They were trying to play spoiler with the codename Bond kind of popping off a little bit there on the Jinx, but everyone else was just so far behind that they never really had too good of a chance to get back into the game after the large deficit that opened up, especially in the bot lane, and the failed ganks from GSE Ian that came out. Ivern actually going to be banned away by Desolate 2.0 this time, so they are changing up the bans a little bit here. See if they still ban the Thresh away. Vi and Soraka going to be the same bans from last game for Whale Hunters. Thresh is the ban this time, keeping that the same. And we're actually going to see Fice. We're going to see Fice coming into the game now. So this should help out Desolate 2.0, as this is their starting mid laner. They don't have to lose any bans this time. They don't have to play an E-sub for this game. Anivia going to be the third ban. That is the same from last time, but they weren't able. They essentially sacrificed one of their bans. I can't remember what it was, but they took that one off in place of the Ivern. Seeing how impactful that champion was for Summer. Bar going to be the first lock-in for Whale Hunters this time. Let's see if they do anything with this blue side. But it seems like red side is the favored side of choice for this series, as both teams have opted to take it when they've had the side selection available to them, and it's becoming more popular, I think, in general on this patch because there are less innately overpowered picks. I actually see now that Cassiopeia was taken away by Whale Hunters as their last ban because they didn't want to see that picked up, I guess, by Fice. And it seems like they don't really have a lot of confidence in first picking it at the moment. But I think Bard had such a good impact on last game that it's nice to pick out the Bard here as well. Just keep it consistent for them. And Warwick actually taken away from Ian this time, going to be played by Summer. Maybe a bit of a ego move here, taking away his champion. See how Summer can do on this very different champion from Ivern. So bot laners here all being locked in now. We see the bot lane matchups, unless Karma's going to be switching lanes in a role swap or I mean, Karma can be flexed into a different lane here, but don't really expect that to happen. But definitely a better laning phase now, going to be secured by Desolate 2.0, as they do have that Sivir and Karma. And picking support earlier here means that they won't be targeted so hard in the banning phase when the final two bans come down for Whale Hunters. Kassadin, definitely a prudent ban for them. They had a lot of difficulty with it last game, so I definitely like seeing that ban come out. But at the same time, you are going to have counter pick in the mid lane this time if you so choose to take it, especially since they've already locked in that Sylas, which we expect to go in the top lane. So maybe banning away mid lanes here is a little bit of a waste. The other option obviously is to go and ban top laners away from Whale Hunters, but Tom Brady's son, aka Fognuggler, does have quite a large champion pool to draw from, but I would like to see at least one top lane ban here, because you know what your top laner is, and you want to give him a decent lane matchup, and you're likely to get a decent mid lane matchup regardless. But again, they're gonna ban away the Xerath. I don't really understand that. Strange strategy coming out from Desolate 2.0, highly reactive, and I mean, it's kind of seemed like they didn't really have a great strategy to begin with in game one, and I think that had to do a lot with the E-sub coming in to the mid lane, but this just doesn't seem well thought out to me. It's very reactive and very based off of what they did last game and what they think they can do this game. Jarvan, the last ban for Whale Hunters, and Kindred gonna be a selection for Ian. I think that's a really good champion for him. I remember him playing fairly well on it in the past. We're gonna see that Dr. Mundo locked in, so Fogler acquiring a really good lane matchup in the top lane, and that just goes to show sort of I think the mistakes of banning mid laners in that last sequence for Desolate 2.0. But who knows, maybe Chosen learned from that experience versus the Mundo. Maybe he's going to play this matchup a little bit differently, and maybe he can make some adjustments to give himself a better chance of staying even with the Dr. Mundo. Although it seems like Mundo innately has a very good advantage in this matchup versus the AP damage of Sylas and the cleavers in the early game doing a lot of work. And we're gonna actually see a placeholder big locked in for Desolate 2.0, so I have to wait to see what that champion is. And apparently Garen is Yorick, so presumptively you are going to be put in the top lane, Sylas in the mid lane this time. We are going to see that bit of a pivot from Desolate 2.0, so definitely a nice nicely executed kind of bait and switch there to lock in the Sylas first and make it seem like it's going to be a top laner, but then move it into the mid lane. They were leaving a lot up to chance there because they did not know who the mid lane pick was going to be from the Whale Hunters, so they left it up to see whether Sylas would get a decent matchup in the mid lane. But it looked like, since that was the plan from the beginning, that it was kind of just a risky play from them. But they do manage to get that nice top lane matchup, which is going to be Yorick versus Mundo, and I believe Yorick has the advantage in that matchup, though. We'll get to see, though. Definitely better than Sylas versus Mundo. And there is that Yorick pick for Chosen this time. Yo, VTL Venom, thank you very much for the subscription. That's 15 months for Venom. Thank you so much, man. Definitely helps support us and helps with the acquiring that prize pool for the playoffs at the end of the season. How's it going, Barnard? Yeah, thank you very much, VTL Venom. Helping us get through this lengthy pick and ban here with the placeholder. I've never been a fan of placeholders, but you know how it goes. You got some players in here who have new accounts, can't stay unbanned. Galio actually was the mid lane pick, so that is going to be a Sylas versus Galio mid lane. That's going to be an interesting one because Sylas can steal the Galio ultimate. I have no idea how these team fights will go. But let's not think about the team fights for the first few minutes here. Let's think about these lane matchups. We kind of talked about how poorly the Silas did versus the Mundo, so having that Yorick now for Desolate 2.0 in the top lane is going to help a lot, I think. And really, it comes down to how much jungle pressure, I think, gets pushed into the top side. We saw a bunch of jungle proximity for the bot lane last game, but this time the choices are way less clear about where those junglers want to end up, because even though there's kind of a meme going around that top lane in Prophecy Cup, doesn't really matter how it goes. I think that in this situation, a little bit of help given to the York in the early game can definitely push a win condition for Desolate and give them the opportunity to snowball that top lane out of control. At the same time, we do see this Galio, which is gonna allow sort of more safety for both top lane and bot lane, where if he reacts in time, if Purple God reacts in time to a gank, he can save Jinx in the bot lane, or he can save Dr. Mundo in top lane. So you have to think about that as well. And when he hits 6, that's going to be a potential game, or a potential like skirmish changer. Kind of turn fights around with the Galio. Yo, thanks very much, Barnard. And then we got bot lane here, which I think I actually give the advantage over to the Sivir lane in the early game, because Sivir and Karma seems like a pretty good lane duo to me. A lot of pushing power there. If Soraka, if the Karma player, whose name is Soraka, can queue the back line or the front line melee minions for the Sivir, then that's gonna set up those last hits really easily, and they'll be able to push in the Jinx and Bard, I believe. And if they do manage to get that early lane pressure down, then it could be difficult for Bout to Bust to last hit with the Jinx. So that's sort of how I see it. But certainly, it's going to be difficult for Desolate to get back in this game, or get back into the series, because they did lose that first game. And kind of looking at the standings now, I guess you could kind of say that this game the series doesn't really have too big of implications, other than the winner should be able to acquire that 5th seed, and 5th seed in Mercury Conference means that they'll play the 4th seed of Nitrogen Conference. So that team should have a slightly better matchup than the 6th seed of Mercury Conference, which is likely to be Desolate 2.0. But you know, nothing's set in stone yet. We still got 2 more weeks left in the season, so we'll see how that shakes down. Alrighty, get into our fancy loading screen now. Take a look at Champion Masteries if we have time. Don't think we're gonna have time, actually. It's loading really quickly. We're at 100% already. But I definitely like what they've done with the loading screen. And here we go. Get our overlay set up here. Oh no, they changed sides. I have to fix it. Alright, Desolate is on red side, guys. I'm just gonna fix the overlay real quick. And Whale Hunters is on blue side.
Go, Wolf!
Run them down.
Alright, there we go. Nice look at the first lane here, or first minion wave for the bot lane here. Karma gets that nice mantra queued off. On about to bust. Feist taking really low there in the mid lane. Summer's Vibe looking for the gank here. Not much of a gank though, just gonna be crossing over to different side of the jungle. Level 2 was acquired first by About to Bust and Fishing and Bot. We're gonna see actually a 2-on-2 skirmish here with the mid lane jungle. Summer's Vibe taking really low. He's gonna go down to that ignite. First blood over for Feist. So this time the Desolate 2.0 mid jungle is gonna have the priority in this time. And Wolf actually gonna get that second kill for the Kindred. So Warwick not really working out here for either team as a pick. As we're going to see First Blood being gifted by Warwick in game 1 with GSE Ian playing it, and this time Summer playing it, gifting over First Blood on the Warwick. And Warwick's back, boys. Gonna be smiting away that Scuttle Crab and donating another kill, I think. Oh, flash forward by Chosen, or GSC Ian actually flash forward here, but Chosen gets the kill on the York. Feist has a level advantage here. He also has red buff, so he's gonna get this slow down on the Purple God. Purple God does have a blast gun available, but Feist is gonna take it all along with him. GSC Ian coming in with the assistance by Wolf. We get 4 early kills here for Desolate 2.0. This is a completely different looking Desolate team with the addition of their starting mid laner this game. And that's going to be them going up quite handily here. Actually, 2k gold lead at 4 minutes. Spells disaster for Whale Hunters. And this series that looked really wrapped up, I think it's going to go the distance here. We're at least going to get a good game out of this one. And you can look at the gold differences here already developing. Huge gold difference in the mid lane and jungle so far. It's slightly a bit of an advantage just for the kill in the top side to Chosen as well. But yeah, sit back and enjoy, everyone. It's gonna be a good game this time. Oh. Chosen being an ultimate dirtbag, getting the recall interrupt off. Nice spell shield from Codename Bond. He's going to attract the attention of Summer of the Warwick this time. This is a very aggressive Warwick. Very similar to last game, with a lot of early game ganking. And also similar in the fact that it's not really working out very well.
I shall perform.
Not really sure what Yorick is going to perform, as that voiceover line does get cut off by Spectator moving around the camera. But I guess we'll assume that he's performing some sort of ritual with the ghouls, Yorick's ghouls. Feist showing no fear on that. Silas just skirmishing as much as possible in the mid lane with that corrupting pot. Maybe looking for a potential execute, but not able to find it. This is going to attract the jungler's attention. Oh wow, we're going to see Blame My Support actually taken down, about to bust. And here's the dive into the mid lane here. Feist doesn't even wait for his jungler and he's going to get that kill, but it's going to be a shutdown for Purple God. Definitely would have liked to seen Feist wait for his jungler there to help tank the turret a little bit, but perhaps feeling apprehensive about a potential Warwick gank, even though I'm not sure if they saw Warwick in top lane, but Warwick was in top lane, didn't have any ability to assist there, so recalls for both bot lane duos this time. About to bust. This is going to be a very difficult laning phase for him because all he was able to pick up was Berserker Graves, which doesn't really help out Jinx very much. Summer's a vibe, popping that Q a little bit early, maybe wanting to follow over GSE Ian, but that would have also put him in danger of the Silas. Lots of vision being acquired here by Desolate early in this game, as you see that vision line being acquired in the top jungle, top river I should say. Mid lane, very, very safe. Taunt gonna land on the Feist knockup as well, but he's gonna be okay. Chosen gets the nice cage down onto Tom Brady's son. Flashing forward, not sure why he flashed forward. Didn't have lethal available. That I hope that attracts some attention from the jungler. We are gonna see Summer get up there, probably going to take down Yorick here if he's able to get in a range. Oh, maybe not. Actually, Chosen is very healthy. So that is a wasted gank from Warwick. He's going to allow GSE Ian to come down here and take this Dragon with a smite. Root goes down onto fishing and bot. Ultimate does get popped by GSE Ian to save himself off the ignite. That's going to be a Soraka flashing forward, getting that 7th kill for her team. About to bust in a really difficult situation here with Feist ultimating down here onto him with that Galio ultimate that he stole from Purple God. So it's going to be really nice proactive plays coming out here from Desolate 2.0. That makes it 8 kills from them now, and an Infernal Drake to their name as well. A couple of control wards being purchased now by Fishing and Bot as he tries to get back into lane, but we're going to see a flash forward here. Summer's a vibe, looking for that kill. Tom Brady's son going to take it. And yeah, well set up there by the jungle top duo. Looks like Kindred is in top lane, maybe looking for a potential kill on the Mundo. Purple guy going to expend that teleport in the mid lane. Can GSE even get up in here in time to cancel the back ACs? He doesn't have ultimate available, but that's going to be so much damage coming out from the jungler of Desolate 2.0. He's sitting at 3 stacks now. I believe that Blame My Support wanted to get a recall off there, but he wasn't able to before About to Bust got back in the lane. And this Bard is having quite the difficult time here in this lane, trying to assist the Jinx. It's just a completely different game from last game in terms of who's leading, which team is leading. But similarly one-sided. Both games have been fairly one-sided, and we're gonna actually see a skirmish here. Looks like Feist does have a Warwick ultimate available to him when it comes off and cooldown. Comes off cooldown. But yeah, both red side teams having a lot of success so far this series. Good damage coming down from Chosen on the Yorick. It looks like Tom Brady's son has virtually never been able to proc the Grasp of the Undying in this lane. At least when Spectator goes up to see him, because he just can't get into range of these ghouls in the cage that Yorick can drop. It's just never incentivized for the Mundo to walk forward all that much. So maybe Warwick's going to start off this Rift Herald as he takes the Scuttle Crab. Definitely going to get rid of this control ward for the time being. So it looks like clearly Whale Hunters, their control over the map is fairly focused in topside. As we can see, their vision is very top lane focused, topside focused. Now Feist showing there on the nice ward from Fishing and Bot. It's gonna disallow any shenanigans, but Fishing and Bot walking forward too far here. Gallia ult comes down. Suppression went on to, oh wow, flash forward from Purple God. It's a nice taunt off the setup from Bard, but this is gonna be Desolate 2.0 just way too far ahead. They take down both Purple God and Summer, and that's gonna be Fishing and Bot going down as well. We see a stack going over to Kindred. About to bust walking forward. Okay. 4 kills for nothing there for Desolate 2.0. Oh boy, this is really going to swing momentum now in Desolate's favor. Oh wow. Did I see a Jinx rocket into the top lane to try to... What was that? I don't know why it would be... I don't know what I just saw there. But at least Jinx is able to finish off this BF sword. But again, we got Sivir with the Essence Reaver already. Like, holy cow, a 13-minute Essence Reaver. Well, it was like a 10-minute Essence Reaver, actually, I think. It's wild.
What's one more grave?
Another Infernal Drake spawning now at 13 minutes. Karma's going to get stunned up here. And he's going to get taunted. That's going to be a dead Soraka. Stun lands onto GSE Ian. He does have the... No, he does not have the ultimate available. This is going to be Feist doing a lot of disruption here onto the enemy jungler. He's going to finish off Summer on the Warwick. This is Desolate taking more names and picking up so many more kills. The only member falling from their side is Soraka. Feist with tons of damage on this Silas. Luden's Echo being completed, and a bit of Magic Pen as well on the boots. So he's super far ahead. 10 stacks of Dark Seal as well. This should be a pretty simple game to finish out. They just have to not make mistakes and slowly knock down these turrets.
This horde consumes all.
So, I mean, it might be a little bit early for me to say this, but we definitely are going to get a game 3 out of this series, but it hasn't really been a close series in terms of individual games. Both games have been very one-sided. And so it'll be really important for both sides to figure out how to get the best possible laning matchups for Game 3, because it's clear that these games are very much so determined by who wins the early game laning phase. Nice Cosmic Binding coming out there from Fishing and Bot. Gonna dissuade Kindred from walking forward any further. Tom Brady's son being taken really low. It's going to be Gallia ulted, ult actually having to be expended to save Tom Brady's son. Purple God with the re-engage gets Chosen Savior, chosen really low, and Jinx is going to finish him off with a nice rocket to the face. Choppers does save him, but oh my, Jesse Ian's so far ahead that he's able to just jump forward there. Stays in the ult just to tank a little bit longer. That's going to be Soraka falling. GSC Ian following up suit. Sivir flashing forward, try to get that nice flashy boomerang play. This is Purple God on the wrong side. Oh, actually, yeah, no, he's on the wrong side of the turret there, so he's not going to be able to get away. And blame my support. Deathless this time around, and super far ahead. It's just what Desolate want in their one of their standout players, and it's gonna be them taking down the top lane turret. Rift Herald being pinged out by Desolate now. See if they decide to go for that next. Definitely valiant effort so far from Whale Hunters trying to hold on to this game, as they were able to pick up 1 kill on the Jinx in that fight, and I believe they got 1 kill for Purple God as well, which was a shutdown as well onto Kindred. Flash forward from Feist here, popping that Warwick ulti, but he's gonna go down. Oh, just in time, gets the kill onto the Jinx. Fishing and Bot deciding to flash away there. He was in the cage. Meanwhile, we see Kindred just plucking away at the Rift Herald. Ultimately, a pretty good trade, though, for Whale Hunters, as they are able to get the shutdown gold from Feist, but Rift Herald, obviously, a nice pickup for Desolate 2.0. Ian doing so much damage here to the Purple God, and that's going to be him finishing off there with that nice on-hit damage. He's just so strong now. Ping's going down, and we see a re-engage here from Desolate 2.0. So much shredding and on-hit damage coming out from GSE Ian on the Kindred. I definitely like this pick on him, showing that he is a skilled Kindred player. Meanwhile, we see Chosen gonna pick up this free kill on the Bout to Bust. No look as the York just walks away. Can he get in the range here? Ghouls tank up the Cosmic Binding. We're gonna see a fear from him. Taunt goes down to Chosen. He's bought so much time for a mid lane to get into range here. Purple God slams down, picks up that kill on the Chosen. But Kindred's so strong here. Flashes forward, get that double kill. It's going to be 2 inhibs down now. This should be GG, I believe. Rift Herald was actually still alive and hitting the Nexus turret, so it only just falls there. Summer's Vibe just barely going to miss out that ultimate nicely sidestep by Soraka and GSE Ian. GSE Ian going to pick up a 3rd kill here in the sequence. Sivir going to pick up that next one, and that's going to be the Nexus falling here at sub 20 minutes. 2 Infernal Drakes really helping out with the damage there, and huge turnaround by Desolate 2.0. Is this a team now that's we can talk about being in contention to maybe grab an upset in playoffs when we get to that point? Definitely an interesting storyline developing here from Desolate 2.0, and we'll get into Game 3 now.
Here we are, a million stars floating over our heads, beating hearts, falling apart, staying up to forget. But baby, we'll fall. We all go dancing down, and paradise is
Okay, everyone, we're getting into game 3 pick and ban now. We're going to see Desolate taking blue side, similar to game 1, where Whale Hunters decided to choose the red side with side selection. Ban's going to be the same this time for Desolate 2.0. They have opted for the Thresh and the Ivern. Let's see if they take the Anivia away as well. And it's going to be the same thing, the Anivia ban. Kindred and Vi going to be the bans this time for Whale Hunters, as we see them not really wanting to see that Kindred again. This will open up the possibility of a first pick Cassiopeia for Feist, as Whale Hunters, was not able to ban that away. But them picking Silas here as a bit of a flex pick potentially allows Whale Hunters to perhaps pick up the Cassiopeia if they so choose. Although it's not something that it seemed like they really willfully wanted to pick. We're actually going to see a first pick Cassidon being locked in for Purple God this time. And I'm not really sure what the theory is behind that pick, but it almost seems like they are picking it maybe as a response to the Silas in order to potentially flex it wherever the Silas goes. Yeah, I think that's what Cassidon pick is all about. I think it's going to be used as a potential flex tool, where they're just going to pick it up and maybe say, okay, we'll put it in top if you select a mid lane champion, and we'll put it in mid if you select the top lane champion. So we could see a bit of a switcheroo here coming out from Whale Hunters, just like Desolate 2.0 pulled off in the last pick and ban phase. But don't take my word for it. We'll see what happens. Okay, I had to replug in my microphone there, just to make sure that it doesn't get all staticky.
I do not tolerate cowardice.
Started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
Alrighty, I fixed the audio there and I fixed the overlay now. So we're ready to get in the game when the pick band phase ends. We're actually gonna see a Moo locked in here. Don't think that's a placeholder. I'm really not sure though. So let's see what the last pickup is for... Oh, actually, this is a Vayne mid, it looks like. Very strange. Holy cow, what a crazy pick and ban phase. Really ugly as well. I don't think the Amumu pick is what Desolate really needs here, which is early game pressure from their jungler. It's almost like they said, okay, pick a tank and because we need a tank in the jungle, and that's kind of what they ended up with. But truly, I don't think they needed a tank. I think they just needed an early game champion, maybe like an Elise or something like that. So will we see this Caston follow the Sylas up in the top lane? Or are we going to see Katarina remain there? And this is a Katarina that appears as though... Yeah, it appears like Tom Brady's son is actually going to hold on to that Ignite, so... I would assume that Katarina is actually going into the mid lane here, but it's just going to be piloted by Tom Brady's son, and Purple God with that teleport is going to be the one in top lane up against Sylas. But we do have 2 minutes to ponder that possibility. I definitely think Caston would be the better response to the Sylas in the top side. So I think that's what we're gonna see. I think Whale Hunters are gonna put Purple God in the top lane. Tom Brady's son moved into the mid lane. Never seen Tom Brady's son, aka Fugnuggler, play Katarina, let alone play mid lane. So this will be really fun to watch. And I think the response, the proper response is actually, and I think Desolate should have been aware of this possibility, so they, or actually it's not really even a possibility, it's a very good likelihood that this would happen. And I think Vayne should have taken teleport and looked to move into the top lane as a response, but maybe Feist isn't much of a top laner, maybe he doesn't feel too comfortable being on the Vayne in top side. So, and the same thing can go for Chosen, who maybe doesn't feel too comfortable playing mid lane with the Sylas. Not really sure what happened there, but I would have liked to seen Desolate 2.0 do a lane swap as well with Feist and Chosen if they were going to keep the champions on the current players that they currently are on. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So red side granting over these flex picks. This series is allowing the lane advantages to go over to them, and it's really been a tale of red side pick ban just having the superior time, and it's really been influencing these games in terms of those solo lanes, who wins them, and it's also helped red side pick the counter matchup in the bot lane as well, or at least get a better matchup, it seems, as well. As this time it seems like the early game is in favor of Whale Hunters' bot lane this time around as well. Alrighty, here we go into game 3 now. We're gonna see a 5-man stack on the side of Desolate 2.0 as they come into the mid lane here. Feist kind of making room for them here to sneak into this bush as he steps extremely far forward. They are kind of baiting this out. Okay, come on. Not sure why a spectator wouldn't let me move it. But that's going to be flashed away by Summer's a Vibe. So that nice bait trick does allow Desolate 2.0 to burn the jungler's flash away. About to Bust actually hasn't bought any items now. We'll see if he realizes that. It doesn't appear that About to Bust has actually realized yet, as he's hasn't recalled. He's just walking in the lane here. But he will have a bit of a surprise when he gets in the lane and realizes he doesn't have any health bots or any starting item. And we're going to actually see this lane swap being, well, it was a lane swap originally by Desolate 2.0, but it's actually standard lanes coming out from Well Hunters, which I didn't expect. Tom Brady's son taking about half health in the top lane. About to Bust taking Soraka extremely low, actually, with that nice Q. We're going to see Chosen walking forward here. He has the XP advantage somehow. I'm not sure how that happened. He's going to get first blood here as he flashes forward. So I'm not sure why Whale Hunters didn't decide to lane swap, as they were presumably going to get the solo lane advantages by doing so. Caston being a pretty good matchup into the Sylas, and I think Katarina being a very good matchup in the Vayne, but they didn't decide to do so. And of course this Katarina does have Ignite on her, so it's going to be a Katarina that's not able to split push at any point, so it's going to be on the Kassadin to do the split pushing if we even get to that stage where that matters. But presumably by that point we are going to see the Kassadin going up against the Sylas, and it looks like that has actually been the intention this time, but Desolate 2.0 actually matching the lane swap again with the getting the good lane matchups. And these solo laners are having so much difficulty now from Whale Hunters, and it's going to mean a huge advantage for the Sylas and the Vayne. And this Amumu pick not really getting taken advantage of at all because of how far the solo laners are ahead. Katarina pathing up in the top lane now again. Chosen a bit of a trouble here. He's going to get ganked by Summer's a Vibe and Purple God showing up. Ian here in time though. He flashes forward, stuns up Purple God, forces him away with the flash. So nicely done by Ian to get there in time to assist his top laner, I guess we can call him for the time being. Tier being purchased onto Ezra here. So essentially not buying that starting item allows him to purchase the tier on an early back that much quicker. Essence flux forward here. Ignite is down onto Lulu, but Bout to Bust going to secure it himself with a flash forward. And oh, we have a Mumu walking down through bot lane. Try here. Is he going to look for that bandage toss? Looks like he doesn't want that. Yeah, Codename Bond is playing for Desolate 2.0. Trying to hold out in this bot lane for we see Purple God and Chosen going at each other on the Silas Cassidin matchup in the mid lane now. Pretty strange sort of lane swapping going on now as the two champions with teleport are actually in the mid lane now, and the two Ignite champions are deking it out in the top side. Chosen gonna dash forward here, get some extra damage on the Purple God. He has level 6 now. This is a Purple God Caston that is a little bit behind in XP due to the lane swapping, I believe, that went on in the early game. Katarina's in the same position in top lane too, with the XP disadvantage. It actually Chosen hitting level 7 there, so he's 2 levels up now at this very moment. GSC Ian's gonna take that red buff and hit level 6 as well, so we'll see if he is able to make any magic happen on the Mumu. With that level 6 being achieved, Purple God finally gets that level 6 off of the cannon minion. We'll see so far that Feist in the top lane has accumulated about a 400 CS lead versus Katarina, and Chosen is about 700 or 800 gold ahead of Purple God mid lane. So solo lanes alone this time are account for just about all the gold lead. Whoa, what the heck happened there? Double flash from both the top laners. If you can call Feist a top laner, I guess. I don't really know. Okay, nice root coming down from GSE in there on the ultimate, so that's going to secure that kill, help Feist get it. Blame my support actually shooting his arrow up there, just in case they needed that extra bit of CC. But it's just going to mean he has one less tool available to him in this laning state. Summer's Vibe just coming up here. Oh wow, Bandage Toss actually being thrown out, and that's going to be a dead Amumu. But is it going to cost Summer's life? Feist coming forward now. Needs one more auto attack. Flash by Summer to... I don't know why he flashed, but red buff does save him. Feist walking back into turret range. It's going to be a trade of kill here. Actually, really worth for Feist because he does get the execute off. Pretty silly. Yep, no lane swap coming out for Werewolf Hunters. Not really sure. I think they just kind of scrambled that Katarina pick at the last moment. They didn't really know what to do. Okay, we're gonna see a flash away by Codename Bond here. Was going to get knocked up by Fishing and Bots. Zyra ultimate. Amumu coming down in the bot lane here. This should be a dead Ezreal. That Vine Slasher actually going to slow him down a whole bunch. Flash forward. Actually gets the bandage toss down. He's going to take down Bout to Bust. He was not able to dash away quickly enough. Didn't have the flash available either. So this Amumu pick definitely paying off. Has 75% kill participation at the moment. Pretty surprising, actually. Yeah. And Feist can do whatever he wants in this top lane. He knows the junglers are not around because he saw Kayn in the bot lane, and yeah, he's the range matchup versus this Katarina, which I thought really would be a better matchup for Katarina than it's turned out to be, but it's really been pretty bad so far, mainly because of the XP disadvantage. Chosen coming down here, he is the pseudo mid laner. He's going to help out in this fight quite a bit, but Summer's going to finish off GSE Ian there, and it's going to be a double kill for Chosen to strike back, so 2 for 1 so far for Desolate 2.0. And I am getting really confused, to be honest, of who's who, because there's so many strange champions in this game in places that I just don't expect them to be. Got a marksman in the top lane, assassin in the top lane, and Silas in the mid lane, and it's just really, really strange. Infernal Drake gonna be the next Drake to spawn. Ooh. Game 3 definitely turning out to be a pretty good one. But Desolate definitely has the advantage so far, that's for sure. See the junglers in the top side here. GSC Ian actually walking forward with a lot of confidence. Gets the bandage toss on the Summer vibe. Actually taking really low. Ultimate being popped out. Curse of the Sad Mummy. But Summer's just going to be able to walk out of there. Purple God looking for execute damage onto Ian. Wasn't able to find it with the Rift Walk. Another Ash Arrow going to just go wide here. These have been really optimistic Ash Arrows. See fishing and bot on the Zyra, trying to help out here in the mid lane, but nothing's gonna happen. Iceborne Gauntlets being completed by Ezra now, so he has a bit more utility available to him. But this should be a dead Feist. Can he get the damage off in time to kill Tom Brady's son? I see it killing the bot lane as well, as Katarina does manage to stay alive in the top side. So, Whale Hunters trying to turn this thing around. They're really losing mid lane here, as that's a 3rd turret plate falling. Or excuse me, I think that was the 4th turret plate actually. Heal being popped, about to bust. That's going to keep him alive and take down GSE Ian with that nice essence, a nice Q from Ezreal. What is the Q called? Mystic Shot, that's right. Flash forward by Chosen here in the mid lane. It's going to be him taking down Purple God. But this might be developing into a problem now for Desolate, as Whale Hunters have quite a nice lead in the spot lane now. Ashe was not able to complete the Infinity Edge quite yet. Ezreal trying to get these last few minions to push out the wave, just for a recall. Turret plating has fallen now. It's 14 minutes into the game. This is one of the longest laning phases we've seen of this series, as First Blood turret has not been knocked down yet, so that objective is still on the table. We see Ezreal not being able to complete his recall there, so it's going to be a bit of an awkward stage now in the laning phase for About to Bust and Fishing and Bot, as they want to recall, but they really can't push out these waves with Ezreal and Zyra. But we are going to see Summers of Vibe helping out here in the bot lane just at the right time. They really need this help. Play My Support going to pick up that kill on the Zyra, as Summers of Vibe going to take him down. Nicely done there from Ezreal to pin the Ashe down. Predict that flash from the Ashe. Gets that True Shot Barrage to land. We have the first turret being destroyed here in the mid lane with the help of GSE Ian. and Chosen. But that duo of Summer and Bout to Bust answers with a turret of their own in the bot side. Purple God has to rift walk away here, gets the slowdown on a GSE even. He's going to be taken really low. This is a rift turret actually being popped as well, so they're going to get a second turret. Essentially a 2-for-1 turret trade, but First Blood turret did go over to the side that got the single turret, so things even up here. Actually, gold difference at 0. So this game 3 actually turning out to be a lot better than we thought it was going to be. This is Chosen walking forward. Going to pick up the kill onto Tom Brady's son, but is Fishing and Bot going to be able to get a return kill here? Purple God rift walking in helps out just enough. This is a very, very far forward Feist, and he's going to clean things up with a double kill here. And I don't think they really... Well, Hunters didn't really even expect that to happen. There's just such a big lead for Vayne here that he's allowed to just walk through turrets. Kane walking up here, trying to look for an exit kill. Misses the W. He's going to have to walk away here and just settle for his Krugs instead. And we get a nice pause in the action now. Just waiting for blue buff to spawn. So with that play in top side, we see the gold swinging over quite heavily in favor of Desolate 2.0. They now have about a 2k gold lead. And we'll see where the players from both sides path from base now. It looks like Feist is going to remain in top lane. There's no large neutral objective available for the time being, as Dragon was fairly recently taken, so it's going to be another couple minutes before we see a Dragon spawn. Ian on a ward here, Fishing and Bot gonna blow her whole load and not gonna get that kill, but oh, the True Shot Barrage just barely missing out from Ian. Ian actually flashed away there. Away from the True Shot Barrage after he got the bandage toss down. So nicely done there by Bout to Bust to force Ian's flash out of him. I don't know if Ian actually would have died to that True Shot Barrage, but he decides to play it safe. A bit of showmanship going on there with the masteries being flashed. Oh, nice knock up here being landed onto Play My Support. I think Summer's Vibe has gone way too far though, and Ian's gonna jump in here, get a 3-man ultimate, and that's gonna be just a huge misplay by the side of Whale Hunters, as they just went too far. I think they just, you know, they're a little fatigued, both sides are, and I think that was just kind of turning Brain off and not respecting the enemy's ability to re-engage that fight. With the Curse of the Sad Mummy from GSE Ian over the wall. Definitely looked like a very sort of instinctual play that didn't really take into account the ability for Desolate to turn it around there. Red buff going over to, I want to say Vayne actually got it, but yeah, I think Vayne actually got that red buff. So that's going to be really scary. Oh boy. Tom Brady's son not aware that Ian is here. Ian not aware that Summer's Vibe is there either. Tom Brady gonna have to flash away here. We see an arrow coming out in the mid lane for Fishing and Bot. That's gonna be Fishing and Bot taking down Ashe though in the meantime. Sorry, I missed that. I was trying to look at both fights. We're seeing Purple God teleporting in here. That's gonna be Purple God taking down Chosen on the Silas. So we're gonna actually get a 2-for-0 here. Well, Hunters trying to fight their way back into this game, as Katarina was able to escape that gank in topside. GSE Ian and Feist try to 2v4 here, as they turn this around. But Amumu doesn't have his of ultimate available, and that's going to be Summer's Vibe taking him, shut him down as he gets taken down by Feist's red buff and Ignite Burn. So I think GSE Ian wanted to go back in there as his ultimate was coming off cooldown, but didn't have enough stall time there to wait for that cooldown. And it ends up just being a 1-for-1. Feist thankfully getting out of there with his life, saves the shutdown gold from being acquired by Whale Hunters. We have an Infernal Drake spawning in 10 seconds. So I expect a huge fight, and GSE Ian is still dead, so now's the time to act perhaps from Whale Hunters, but they're not going to pull the trigger. They have too many members of their own still in Fountain. GSE Ian is the definite wombo combo sort of setter upper to watch here. We'll see how good his Amumu ultimate can be. And we'll have to see how much damage Zyra can get off as well in these tight chambers. Katarina also capable of a lot of burst damage. See how this goes. Summer's Vibe looking for some engage potential here as Amumu gets that Curse the Sad Mummy off onto Tom Brady's son to deny him any wombo combo. Oh, Summer's Vibe comes in there and steals the dragon. That's going to be Infernal Drake going over to Whale Hunters. Summer's Vibe finishing off Ash at the backline there, but Feist doing so much damage staying alive with just 200 health or so. So it's going to be a 3-for-4 going in favor of Desolate 2.0. Summer's Vibe trying to play hide and go seek here. He's going to barely get out of his difficult situation there. Looks like Silas actually tried to chase Kane further, but Chosen is just gonna settle for this Gromp at the end of the day. And yeah, Amumu doesn't have really any tanky stats except for that Ruby Crystal and Negatron Cloak, as he has picked up that Leandri's Torment and the Sork shoes as well. But he does, however, have the Cinder Hulk jungle item, so he does have some health available to him, but definitely a lot of damage packing the punch there. This is a really fast Baron being taken under the noses of Whale Hunters as Vayne just does so much damage, buffed up by that Lulu. So really nice sneak by Desolate 2.0 there. That could be the winning play actually. They're going to choose to recall here, spend some of their gold. And this is going to be a really tough hold from Whale Hunters now, as they're facing down a utility AD carry with a secondary marksman comp. At the same time, I don't want to say that... I don't know. I don't think the siege actually from Desolate 2.0 is all that incredible. They do have that Ash though, which is a nice siege tool. Amumu can threaten dives as well. But it really is just the gold lead so far that's been so unstoppable for Desolate at this moment. And they really want to make a play happen here before they start losing this gold lead. And Tom Brady's son gonna finish off GSE Ian there as he steps way too far forward. Feist actually gonna get shut down by Katarina. So double kill now for him. Silence gonna be landed onto Soraka, but she managed to flash away somewhere in between there, as this was a odd man play on around the river here. Silas does knock down that bot lane turret, but it's not gonna be really compensation that Desolate wanted. They wanted to make more use of this Baron buff, and it's kind of going to waste at the moment. Those Infernal Drakes are going to really impact the game as time goes on as well. And I think the longer this game goes on, the more opportunities that Well Hunters have to win this game. We're gonna see him trade Ashe for Ezreal here. Both AD carries being knocked out of the fight. We have a Mumu presumably pinging forward here. He's on a ward though. Bandage toss forward. Curse of the Sad Money finds 3 just on the edge there. He's gonna flash and take down Fishing and Bot. So they saw him on the ward, but they just didn't respect it. As his Curse of the Sad Mummy does find them just barely on the edge there. Bandage toss coming off the cooldown soon, but he's not going to be able to get in a range of Summer's Vibe as they go over to clear out the top wave. Purple God playing with fire here as he recalls in very close proximity to Feist and Chosen. This is an Ezreal that's not going to be able to clean out these minions, so this is going to be an inhib turret falling. Tom Brady's son threatening an engage on the side here. But the numbers advantage is in the favor of Desolate, so they're just going to be able to walk out there safely. Next dragon is going to spawn in a few seconds. It is a 3rd Infernal Drake, so this is something that Desolate 2.0 very much so wants to deny from Whale Hunters. Whale Hunters kind of not too happy that this Infernal Drake actually spawned because it doesn't really help them out so much as it threatens to negate their own Infernal Drakes. Both sides though would love to have this, I suppose, you know. They have so much AD and AP sources, damage sources. Summer's Vibe gonna look for a steal here, flashes in, but that's a smite being taken by GSE Ian. He's gonna start off this fight though as Ashe is taken extremely low on the side. Fight's gonna be taken down eventually by Ezreal. 4-man strong here for Whale Hunters. Can they make this happen? Soraka gonna get taken as well. That's a 4 for 1. Actually 4 for nothing now. Whale Hunters just walking all over the side of Desolate 2.0. And this game's turning around quite rapidly as Summer's Vibe was able to start off that fight nicely. Gets a lot of good utilization from that Guardian Angel, which did get popped early on in the fight, but he's able to get out alive there. And this is Chosen, actually super powerful. And it looks like he has, well, he's got full power in W and Q now, but he's gonna get shut down as he goes way too ham, looking for additional kills other than the one that he found on Kayn. So a pair of shutdown bounties being exchanged there in that sequence, but other than that, not much progress being made. Baron's gonna spawn here in 30 seconds. I don't think these teams really thought too much about the Baron buff though, as it's mainly been the fight for the Infernal Drake so far. So we're gonna get some vision with those plants, but it's not gonna last very long as there is a Ashe Arrow coming out. Flame Eye Support gonna catch out Fishing and Bot here, and Feist's gonna finish it off. So we're gonna see an odd man attempt here. Numbers advantage in the side of Desolate 2.0 as they start off this Baron. About to bust, trying to get in here with the Mystic shots. Raining down. Essence Flux lands on the Feist. Can he get another Mystic shot? Looks like the side of Whale Hunters have prevented this Baron from happening, but at what cost? They're going to start off a fight here. Tom Brady's son going in, trying to get as much damage off as possible. He's going to fall down. Oh! That's a True Shot Barrage from Chosen on the Silas, landing onto Ezreal of all champions. He's going to take him down to like 300 health. Summer does have Smite available here. He's going to look for a steal. He's on vision though. He's going to take the Blast Gun over. Is he going to get the steal? He's going to get the steal. Red team steals the Baron. Whale Hunters denying that Baron away from Desolate 2.0. It's going to keep them even more so in the game and allow them to stall out things here, even though both their jungler and their top laner are dead. Incredible game so far, and Summer getting that Baron steal just means that they can live to fight another day here. Oh, GSE Ian may be looking for an engage. He doesn't have Curse of the Sad Mummy available, but he certainly wants that bandage toss stun. Bout to Bust doing a good job here of keeping these Baron buff minions in front of him and denying that bandage toss from the Amumu. Oh, he's gonna jump forward here, get the Blade of the Rune King proc off, and that's gonna be GSE Ian dead for the next 45 seconds. Can Whale Hunters make anything happen here, or are they just walking into a potential trap? Desolate was so far ahead in this game, and I think they just sort of took it for granted. Nice arrow landing here, but oh, Chosen takes out both. He's gonna take out both Bout to Bust and Fishing and Bot here. Wow. Really, really valiant effort from Chosen on the Silas this game. Blue buff is the current objective for Whale Hunters here, as they allow the members of Desolate 2.0 to take their mid lane inhib, but mid lane inhib not really going to be enough here for Desolate 2.0. They still have a lot of problems that they have to deal with. This scaling Kassadin is going to be a tremendous thorn in their side, and we have GA actually coming off of cooldown for the Kane on the side of Whale Hunters, so there's still a lot of issues that Desolate have to figure out here. And you know, that next Baron fight looks like it's anyone's ball game, which really shouldn't be the case because of how much of a lead Desolate 2.0 had in the early game. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Silas Chosen on the Silas now has a Rabadon's death cap, so he does quite a bit of damage, and he has that Zanya's Hourglass to set up fights and bait down cooldowns. Pretty inconsequential dragon being taken here, but it's going to set up the elemental in a few minutes. It's going to allow Whale Hunters to also knock down that top lane turret. Vice rocking forward here, gets a Blue of the Rune King proc off, but has he bit off too much that he can chew? True Shot Barrage, just going to go wide. Off screen there. Oh, actually, flash forward from Summer. Here we see 3 members of Desolate 2.0 in the bot lane here. Tom Brady's son flashing forward, gets the Zanya's Hourglass off. That is Zyra falling though, pretty early in this fight. Chosen is still alive. He's going to do so much damage here. Going to pop the Zanya. Is actually not going to do too much damage. He's going to just die just like that. So that Silas, with so much damage capability, just doesn't have really any escapes available to him, and it's going to be him falling. 2 for 1 in the favor of Whale Hunters, further evening up this game. Just incredibly close so far, and it's crazy to see how close it is given how snowbally a lot of these champions are. Despite all these assassins in this game, it's still just such a close one. Yeah, this is a PogChamp game if I ever saw one. Baron buff 2 minutes away, and I think the Elemental Drake is about 4 minutes away. So they're going to be staggered buffs. The Baron is going to be such a huge objective. Actually, you know, the way these teams have been misusing the Baron buff, I don't think it's that important, but it's going to be the fight around it that really decides this game. It would be interesting to see if Whale Hunters does decide to just let the Baron go, because truly I don't think they're going to make much use out of it. But obviously it is really the only way Desolate can make this game become a win, and the other way is to pick off Summer as a vibe here. He gets so much healing. W does not miss, or does not hit. Purple God on a rampage here, gets in the backline, takes out Lulu, and he's gonna rift walk forward, gets a double kill onto the Ashe. Zonya's Hourglass being popped just in time, and that's gonna be Ezreal picking up Vayne as well. Wow. GSE Ian's gonna fall down, about to bust, but Silas in the bot lane here is gonna demand some attention This is gonna be 3 members of Whale Hunters just making sure they get this kill and don't lose any more of their base. And in the meantime, Ezreal and Zyra are gonna be in the top side, trying to knock down as many structures as possible. Baron's gonna spawn in 30 seconds. That's gonna be Chosen being dead for 50, which means a possible 4 versus 5 for this Baron buff. And Amumu's gonna be alive and just in time maybe to get there in time, but even he's gonna be late, so let's see how fast Whale Hunters can take down this Baron. They want to start it up as quickly as possible. It's not the time to be doing blue buff. Ezreal gonna try to do as much damage as possible here. About to bust ending this teleport, which I think is a really good idea. And it's actually going to be Desolate 2.0 backing off. They're not going to try to contest this one. Whew. Boy, this one's crazy. So 2 inhibs gone for Whale Hunters here, but they do have the Baron buff. What is their strategy moving forward? Elemental Drake gonna spawn in about 50 seconds here. Maybe that's what they're going for. It would be a double Infernal Elemental Drake, which would surely allow them to win any team fight that they take while having it. Feist doesn't have teleport available. He's just waiting essentially in this top lane to see if... And Bandage Toss actually landing onto Summers of Vibe, but GSE Ian doesn't have enough damage there. It was just a bit of a gamble for him going in there, just trying to see what the reaction would be from Summer. Tom Brady's son in the top side now. Feist, is he gonna make a play on this? I think he can probably kill him. It's just too risky though. He decides not to as he stays in that bush. Feist, again, he doesn't have that teleport available for him, so numbers advantage. Well, not really numbers advantage so much as it's a 4v4. Essence, True Shot Barrage actually taking Blame My support extremely low, about half health. And this is a lethal tempo Ashe without heal. So, not much healing available. Tom Brady's son. Oh, purple got in the top side now. I don't know what happened there. Visual bug, maybe. Blast Cone was popped. They're not going to find that kill. Both solo laners were in the top lane there. That's going to be Blame My support popping that ultimate just to try to prevent that steal. As Fishing and Bot's going to take down GSE Ian here. And this is going to be a 2-man push in the top side now for Desolate 2.0. They have the Elemental Drake available to them, but Feist is going to go down. Zanya's being popped by Tom Brady's son. Is Chosen going to go down too? This is valuable, valuable time with the Baron buff and with the Elemental Drake that's being wasted here essentially. And it's just going to be a huge defensive play coming out from Whale Hunters here. They lose their top lane inhib, so that's 2 inhibs down now. And all inhib turrets down for Whale Hunters, but they have staved off that push from Desolate. And the question is just how long can these death timers get that will allow a potential Whale Hunters come from behind victory here? Because at the moment it seems like the split push is going heavily in favor of Desolate 2.0. And thankfully, Bout to Bust is going to be able to push out that bot wave. And Summer's a Vibe pushing out the top wave, so it's going to be a while until those Desolate 2.0 minions start to knock on the door of the Nexus turrets in both those lanes. So a bit of downtime now. Desolate looking for this death brush. Zanya's Hourglass had to be popped by Fishing and Bot. Is he caught out here? Yes, he is. He's going to be knocked up and taken down. That's shutdown gold going over to vain. Not that he needs it. He's got full items already. He's got a red elixir as well. Is this the numbers advantage that Desolate need now to break open the base even further? Maybe get a couple of Nexus turrets? Vanish Shot's just gonna go wide there. I see dodged out there. Baron gonna be spawning in a minute and a half. How much of a chance do they want to take here? Jesse Ian gonna get that root down onto Ezreal here. Summer's a vibe in the back lane. Is he gonna be able to finish off Amumu? No, he's gonna flash back in though. Gets the knock-up on the Blame My support. Zon is being popped. Guardian Angel as well. About to bust, still alive in the back line here. And Feist still has that GA pretty much untouched. Knock up onto about to bust. It's gonna force another engage from members of Whale Hunters, and this should be Desolate taking the series here. I think they don't have a minion wave quite yet, but they do have a huge numbers advantage. 5 versus 3. Purple God is alive now, so this big Cassidy maybe is able to prevent something here. Ultimate from Blame My support lands. He's gonna be taken pretty low off the turret shot though. These minions are doing so much damage to these turrets. Chosen dashing forward gets a huge heal off of that. Red turret being destroyed here. Purple God rift walking forward gets a double kill here onto the members of Desolate 2.0, but he's going to be taken down by Amumu. This is going to be Feist hitting the Nexus here. That should be game 3. Going over to Desolate 2.0. Crazy game, but Desolate manages to hang on at the end there and not completely give up their early game lead, so they make it happen. That's going to be Desolate running it back, getting the reverse sweep after losing that game 1 with the usage of the E-sub. So tremendous effort from them to make that happen and keep their heads in the series and turn it around. So yeah, I'm gonna get a quick interview right now if any of the Desolate 2.0 members are still awake. I know that was a long series for them, but hopefully I can pull in someone real quick. Yeah, let me guys let me know if there's someone you want me to pull in here for the interview. I'm thinking I gotta interview Feist and Karaoke, just because those guys played so well that last game. Okay, so I'm here now with Feist and Karaoke for a bit of an interview. How's it going, guys? How's it feel to pick up that series victory against Whale Hunters?
You know, it feels pretty good. We didn't have FYS for the first game, but then when he came back, I knew we could win, and it turned out it happened. So I was really happy about that. So for like one of our couple like the second, third time we played together. So, but I knew me and FYS have been playing together for so long. We can carry this, and we did. I was very happy.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely liked your guys' strategy, sort of catching us off guard in that game 2 where you brought the Silas into the mid lane when we thought it was going to be in the top lane. How'd you guys develop that sort of strategy?
We're probably just fortunate that me and him both play a lot of Silas, so we have that flexibility in draft. That we both play the champ. That's kind of new, and we're both pretty good at it. So it catches people off guard, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was a really impactful pick for you guys. And I mean, now like you guys look like you're potentially a bit of a dark horse here in Mercury Conference. And so, I mean, talk to me. Do you guys think you guys have a good chance now going into the playoffs? You're going to be picking up an opponent from the other conference, but what are you guys' sense of moving forward into the later stages of the season now?
I think we're just gonna play, and then hopefully we win. And if we don't win, it happens. But I think we can beat most teams, except
We're
for
gonna
like,
smash some kids, dude.
yeah, we're gonna body some kids. My bad. I was trying to be modest, dude. Fucking.
No modest. Amateur league.
Yeah, we're about to body some kids in the playoffs.
Beat us, respect. Good luck.
Well said, well said. So, I mean, I guess the last thing I want to know is, do you guys have any shout outs or any last things you want to say on stream?
Yeah, shout out to DTS mid when he's gonna get clapped in UCL by Doxa in the mid lane. So. You have anything, Evan?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Alright.
Alrighty, sweet guys. I'll let you get to bed. I know it's late. It's a long series, so thank you very much for the quick interview.
Alright, thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, good night.
And that's going to do it for us, guys, or for me now that I'm all here by my lonesome. But anyway, my name is Escapist. It's been a pleasure tonight. We saw 2 series. One was hosted by EGN. Shout out to Everlife Gaming Network for getting that done, where we saw Dolphin Slash take down Illyrian Gaming 2-0, and we saw a really exciting series, actually. Surprisingly exciting. This time, with Desolate 2.0 pulling off that, I would say it was an upset, but it was kind of a very even matchup in the end, and they took down Whale Hunters 2-1. So yeah, we'll see you next time. I believe our next series is going to be on Tuesday, with Baby Shark taking on. No, it's going to be Vortex versus First Blood Knights, Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll catch you for that one, and yeah, have a great night, everyone. Thank you for joining us so much. Peace out, Prophecy Cup.